Hi, everyone. We are back and we are with another one of our sponsors for BellaCon 2025. And I'm going to bring her in right now. It is Deb. And how do you say your last name?
Floros.
I didn't want to get it wrong because I do that. But I am going to turn it right over to Deb. She's going to tell you about her projects, her mini bonus projects. And I'll come in when she's flipping her camera.
Okay. Thanks, Anne. Hello, everybody. I'm Deb Floros, and I'm here today representing Jesse James Beads. Jesse James Beads has been inspiring me as a jewelry maker for many years. They are a family-run business out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And if you go to jessejamesbeads.com, you will find collections of bead strands and bead mixes, chain, charms, all kinds of wonderful things for jewelry making. And they host virtual events several times a year, including the upcoming Summer Camp 2025. And they have a monthly subscription box called the Magical Mystery Bead Box. And let me tell you, it is magical. And I believe we might even be giving one of those away. So stay tuned because more information is coming on that. And I only have a small amount of time with you today, and I want to show you some fun things that you can make with this little powerful pack of imagination in the waiting from Jesse James Beads. This is in your swag bag. And I've already started working with mine, so mine's not even completely full, but we're going to make a couple of beginner-friendly projects today. If you make jewelry, these are easy peasy projects you can get done quickly. And maybe you're just starting your jewelry making journey, so you can learn a little bit something today and work with these beautiful inspirational pieces. So Anne, I'm going to flip my camera down now.
Okay, so I'll come in because she's flipping her camera and she shuts it off while she does that. And we are giving away one of the door prizes during this workshop. It is a magical mystery bead box. And everybody's going to want it, but we will announce that at the end. And it is available only to people who are part of the BellaCon event. Everybody has a chance to win. You don't have to be watching live.
Awesome.
There you go.
All right, so this is your little box of goodness. Now, I have already taken some beads out. They're on my mat. And also in this little fun package is a piece of Jesse James Beads chain reaction chain, which is super fun to work with. So you've got all kinds of things. You've got tassels and beads. They are glass and absolutely stunning pieces to work with. Lots of fun shapes. So we're going to do some fun things. I'm going to show you, first of all, the first project that we're going to make, and that is this simple, fun, colorful, whimsical earring. And you only need 3 pieces from this little box. Well, 6 pieces really, because you're going to make 2 earrings. We're only going to make 1 today. So from my jewelry making stash, I'm going to be working with some 22 gauge artistic wire by Beadalon. And you'll need probably about 5 or 6 inches of wire cut from the spool. You'll also need some ear wires. I like these French hook ear wires. These are also by Beadalon. And you'll need some round nose pliers and a cutter and a pair of chain nose pliers that will help us with holding on to our piece as we do our wrapping. So this is so incredibly easy. So let's get started. So I'm going to take my wire, and at about, I don't know, the 3/4 mark, I'm going to come in and put it in between my pliers. And I'm going to pull the wire up around one of the barrels of the plier so that we've got a little dip in the wire to work with. Then we're going to take our fun, beautiful little ombre glass leaf. This is so pretty and so lovely as a backdrop for another piece that is super fun and whimsical. This is a little fabric tassel. So incredibly cute. And we're going to put that right onto our wire, and it's going to sit right in front of our leaf. Now, what we want to do next is take our wires and we want to crisscross them, but we don't want to crisscross too tight because we want these pieces to have some movement. These are going to be earrings, so we want to have that fun little movement and dangle of our piece that's hanging down. So I'm gonna take that little crisscross of wire, and I'm gonna come in with my chain nose pliers, and I'm gonna hold on where that wire crosses. So just gonna give it a good hold right there. And then I'm gonna take my shorter piece of wire, push it around and back, and then push up the longer piece of wire. And I'm gonna come around and wrap my wire, just give it a couple of wraps around that, that longer wire. And it's gonna look like that. Super easy. This is a really easy beginner's wire project. If you're intimidated by working with wire, this is a great way to get you started. So we've got our little wraps there. And then this is so easy as well. You're going to take this incredible, beautiful, faceted, bright yellow teardrop. I mean, if this doesn't give you a great pop of color for spring and summer, I don't know what will. And you're going to take that bead and you're going to push it down onto the wire, and it's going to sit right on that little wrapped area. Really, really bright, pretty. These colors are so perfect for spring and summer. I'm crazy about this specifically curated bead mix for you guys. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take round nose pliers, and I'm going to grab a hold of the wire just a little bit above the bead. So just so you can see a little sliver of wire above that teardrop. And I'm going to take the wire down over one barrel, then pull it back around the back barrel. And then I'm just going to do a little twist with the plier and with the piece itself. And I'll tell you, if you're not a jewelry maker, everybody kind of does this a little bit different. But what I'm doing is creating a wire wrapped loop. So we've got a loop there. We want to secure all of that by doing some wraps around that loop. So I'm going to pull my wire back around and pull it around again, and one more for good measure. And now we've got a loop wrapped on top. And what I'm going to do is trim off that excess wire. And then I'm going to grab those chain nose pliers again. And sometimes when you cut off your wire, you're going to have a little piece that's sticking out a bit. We want to tuck that in and make sure that that piece is not going to poke you in the ear or poke you in the back of the head. And that is as simple an earring as you can get with a piece of wire and only a few pieces from this fun little bead mix. So I've got my ear wire. I always like to open up my ear wire a little bit by twisting it. You never want to pull your ear wire apart. You always just kind of want to twist it so that it's easy to get back into the shape that it started in. And I'm going to drop the earring right into that little divot in the wire. And then I'm going to grab that ball end of the ear wire, and I'm just going to give that a tiny little soft squeeze so that the ear wire comes together. And now our little dangly piece is on the earring, and we've got a fun dangly spring and summer earring. Here's the pair. I love the colors. I love how whimsical these look, and the colors are just divine. So you can take any other bead. So maybe you don't want as large a bead for the earring. You can pick out a smaller bead and do the same thing on the bottom, and you've got that little dangly movement on your earring. Super fun. This is a gateway project. So if you are not a jewelry maker, you're going to try these out. This is going to get you started on so many other things. For those of you that are not jewelry makers, once you get started, it can be pretty addicting. Just saying.
They're super cute. Bobby's wondering if the ear wire is available at Jesse James Beads.
I'm not 100% certain on that. I do know at times they carry the French hook ear wire. I did not double check to see if that was available, but they are pretty readily available out there in the market if they're not available at Jesse James Beads.
And I think Sarah's in here, so maybe she can answer it too.
Yeah. Oh, great. Okay. Hi, Sarah. So here's our bracelet project. This is about as simple a bracelet project as you can get, but it is so pretty and so colorful and so adorable. So what we're going to do here is a very simple, what we call stringing project. And I'm going to use some Beadalon 19 strand gold color beading wire. And I'm going to also work with some size 11 seed beads. I like to use seed beads as spacers for beading projects. I think they add a nice little dimension, and they add a great little bit of shine. So if you want a little bit of dimension and shine to break up the beads, that's a great way to do it. And it makes your beads go a little bit further as well. And I'm going to hold up this section in just 1 second to show you. But this is a great way to take beads and be able to get a lot of use out of all of them and not have to use all of them in a specific project necessarily. So let me put one more on, and I'm kind of starting with a smaller bead. So you'll see there's a tiny little yellow bead, a really cool like rondelle in a turquoise tone. There's this like diamond shaped bead, and this little bead right here is actually a stone. So there are some fun pieces and parts in this little box you've got. So I'm just stringing them on. This yellow bead is super fun. And there's different shapes, there's different textures, there's different shapes here. So there's just so many fun pieces and parts. Look at the little flower beads. These are so fun. You could just take the flower beads and create an earring, and you would be, just in love with the little flower beads. So I'm adding another stone bead, and then I'm taking, there's 2 different teardrop beads in the box. This teardrop bead is drilled all the way through lengthwise. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create almost like an Art Deco focal section here. So I'm going to string on one of those teardrops, a seed bead, a round green bead, another seed bead, and then another one of those teardrops. And that kind of has like an Art Deco vibe to it. So I thought that looked kind of interesting and fun for the center of the bracelet. And the cool thing about this mix is if you don't like this particular setup and this particular design, you can create your own. All you need is some beading wire, and a couple of crimps. So I'm going to show you crimping in just a second. And there's actually even a clasp in this kit. So we're going to work with that. And then there's even a little charm that we're going to add that's super fun. So you can take any configuration of the beads that you would like. Pick your favorites. You could do like a color blocking design. There's just so many options for you. And again, I'm putting these little size 11 seed beads in between. Jesse James Beads does carry these Toho seed beads, and I've been working with these for quite some time. They're really nice to have around and use as your spacers. So I'll hold up this pattern in just a second for you so you can take a look at what we're doing and see how easy this is. It's very therapeutic as well. So if you're not a jewelry maker, stringing beads is like therapy. It's so good. It's so much fun. It's very Zen-like, and you can listen to music or a book on tape or something like that if you need a little something to listen to while you do this. So the next thing we're going to do is add our clasp. This clasp is in your little box of inspiration. And I'm going to start by adding one of the ends, and I'm going to use this tiny little crimp tube. This is a size 2 crimp tube. It's a piece of metal that will help you secure your bracelet. So if you've always wondered, like, how the heck are these jewelry people making, securing their pieces, you can use a little piece of metal called a crimp tube, and you hook it onto, or you hook your clasp onto it. And I always kind of try to go down through my first bead, and I give myself a little bit of a loop because we do want movement on our wire. We don't want to ever make anything too tight. And then we're going to need a pair of crimping pliers. And the crimping pliers will actually modify that metal to make sure that it gets secured onto our wire. And we don't want our wire to be crossed. So I'm kind of holding my wire in a specific way so that it's not going to get crossed. And I'm using both little divots on my crimping pliers. You'll see there's 2 divots. You want to start with the back one and then go to the front one, and it creates a little folded over crimp tube. And then I'm going to trim off my excess, and then I'm going to push my wire down, and I'm going to cut it from the package. I try to work from the package whenever I can, so that I don't have to waste as much wire. So here I've got my one end of my toggle on. Now we're going to add on our second part of the toggle, the big part of the toggle. So I'm putting on that tiny little crimp tube. It's almost too small to see. Here's the other half of our toggle. I'm going to come in, put that onto the wire, and I'm going to make sure that there's no slack in my bracelet, but I'm also not going to crimp in a straight line. I don't want to put the piece down and crimp it straight. I want to kind of keep it curvy so that it's establishing some space for itself. So I'm pushing my wire down through the crimp tube, down through that first bead, and then I'm going to push that guy down and give myself another loop of wire that allows my toggle to move around. I'm going to hold my wire off to the side, and I'm going to come in with the back part of my crimping pliers and give that a squeeze. Then I'm going to come in with the front part, the front divot in my crimping pliers, and I've got that nice little closed up crimp. Then we just need to get rid of our excess wire. And we've got this pretty bracelet, but we're going to do one more thing because we have this beautiful rhinestone charm. This has lots of sparkle and fun. So I just thought it would be cute to add it to the end of our bracelet, just a little extra oomph for a fun spring bracelet. I'm using a 4mm jump ring, and I'm attaching the charm to that jump ring and then coming in on the clasp. And I'm going to hopefully get that attached. Yes, that ring was looking hard to see for a second there. So now we've got a fun little dangle at the end, and look at this fun bracelet we have. This is fantastic. Oh, and you know what? My jump ring did not stay on. Well, we're going to hold it there so you can get an idea of what it would look like. I actually have the finished version here. This is what it looks like, you guys. Our little charm on that end. This is a fun bracelet, easy to make, fun little earring pair. Look at the colors. This is going to be so great for summer or the rest of spring and summer that's coming quickly. Easy projects with your fun little box of inspiration from Jessie James Beads. So much fun.
That is just awesome. And they were so quick and easy.
I'm going to flip and
Okay. So I'll come in. That was just so quick and easy and just, they're beautiful. So everybody can make those. And we are giving away the Magical Mystery Bead Box. Lisa, do you have a winner? And remember, guys, if you're part of BellaCon 2025, you don't have to be live to win.
No.
Because we keep a list and we'll post it in the group. But Lisa does a randomizer and winner pops up. So
yep. So I'm excited because this time actually the person is in here. So that's kind of exciting because a lot of times, that doesn't happen. Right. So anyways, so the winner for Jessie James Bead is Brenda Towsley.
Oh, so, Brenda, congratulations,
Brenda.
Yay.
Yep.
So we have your information and we will get it to Jessie James Beads next week.
Yeah.
After I'm home. I won't be home till like Wednesday. So yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, Brenda.
Yeah.
It was so fun when I saw her name pop up. I was like, oh, she's in the actual
group. That's always fun.
So it is, right?
We want to thank Jessie James again for their generous support of our event.
Yes.
And doing a giveaway too. And we will be working with them some more throughout the year. So thank you, Deb. These were wonderful.
Thank you, Deb, for teaching with us. Yes, it was great.
Make sure you guys come back at 2:00. We'll be live with Sculpey.
Sculpey's coming up. That's right.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.